All right, thanks so much, Danny. Now to this story. Alec Baldwin is once again facing criminal charges in connection with the prop gun shooting death of cinematographer Halyna Hutchins. Baldwin shot and killed Hutchins while shooting the movie Rust in New Mexico. Prosecutors dropped the charges, but said they could be reinstated. Well, KCAL News reporter Tom Wade is here to explain what happened.
Yeah, Pat, it seems like there's varying legal opinions about the new charges in this case and how they'll play out. So special prosecutors brought the new case after getting a second expert analysis of the gun used in the shooting. Baldwin maintains he did not pull the trigger. Alec Baldwin is once again facing criminal charges. A grand jury in New Mexico has indicted the star on involuntary manslaughter charges for a second time for his role in the death of cinematographer Halyna Hutchins on the set of his movie Rust in October of 2021.
So here they're saying that Baldwin was criminally negligent, either in the handling of the gun that had caused the death of Miss Hutchins, or he was negligent as a producer in the way he conducted safety on the set.
Last year, prosecutors dismissed charges against the movie star, but warned new ones could be brought at a later date. Friday's indictment comes after an independent forensic test determined Baldwin would have had to pull the trigger on the prop gun while filming the Western movie. The FBI also reached a similar conclusion.
I think this is a stronger case. They have cured the problems in the prior case. I think that report will obviously be something that Alec Baldwin will have to respond to.
Hutchins died after the gun Baldwin was holding went off during a rehearsal. Director Joel Souza was also shot and injured. Baldwin has always maintained his innocence. This was Baldwin in his first meeting with investigators.
It should have been a cold gun with no rounds inside.
The gun was not supposed to contain live ammunition. Baldwin insisted to investigators he never pulled the trigger and was not responsible for Hutchins' death. On Friday, Baldwin's lawyer said in a statement, "We look forward to our day in court."
His exposure isn't so significant that he has to plead. The maximum he could face is 18 months. He's got great attorneys, and he has a lot of arguments in his favor that could get him acquitted. So I think in this case, a plea deal is very unlikely.
Baldwin also faces at least 2 civil suits in connection with the killing. Hutchins' death has already made an impact on how Hollywood movies are made.
I think there was a really big impact, honestly, 2 years ago with people wanting to use post-production effects instead of blanks.
As for the film itself, Rust could soon be released.
The last I heard, they completed it. Obviously, they completed production or filming in Montana last April, I want to say. And I think they've edited it, and now they're waiting for, I think, a film festival or distribution of some kind. It might end up on Netflix sooner or later. But yeah, they're going to release it at some point.
Hannah Gutierrez-Reed, who was responsible for inspecting the weapons on set, faces an identical charge. Her trial begins next month. So, Pat, I guess we'll have to wait and see how this plays out in the courtroom.
I remember when they brought the charges initially and dropped them, but said that they could refile. So that's obviously what they're doing here. Do they have different witnesses? Do we know that or not?
That's a very good question. We know that 2 of the people that went before the grand jury were on the crew, or at least in the area when this went off. So they were either working with the crew or they were staff on the set. And then, of course, as we talked about, the forensic analysis of the prop gun. That's also a really important detail.
That sort of moved the needle.
Yeah.
The indictment itself, it gives them alternatives here.
Yeah.
Right?
Right. Exactly. So the indictment provides prosecutors with 2 alternative standards. They say pursuing involuntary manslaughter, which would be based on negligent use of the firearm, right? And then they also have felony misconduct with a total disregard for indifference for the safety of others. So these 2 different pathways for the prosecutors to go. But I've been listening to a lot of legal analysis tonight, too, from this. And there's a lot of questions about, is this being overcharged? So we'll see.
I wonder if that's why they brought those 2 different, gave them a choice or an alternative charge.
Yeah.
All right, we'll have to find out more about this, and I'm sure we'll be discussing it in depth a little later on.
Absolutely.
Because then again, we want to know, well, what is if that is a conviction, how long, or could they possibly argue some kind of deal?
Right.
Could that be reached?
There could be a plea agreement, but as one of our legal experts was saying to us, is he has strong legal footing, Alec Baldwin, so it would be unlikely for him, these analysis were saying, that for him to take a plea deal. But who knows? We've already seen so many unexpected things happening here.
No, that's just what could happen.
Right.
All right. We'll be following that closely. Thanks so much,
Thanks,
Tom.
Pat.
Okay, let's move on to this breaking news right now. The 118 free